and welcome to From the Heart Friday with me, Jessica Brigden of JessBCreativeCardiology. Hello, hello, welcome. Today we are doing a slide and lock fun fold technique card. I think you're really gonna like this one. It's lots of fun, and we are using Stampin' Up's new Celebratory Sips Sweet Collection. So perfect for this hot, humid, sticky day. I'm not adjusted to this yet. We've barely had spring here in central New York, and today it's like 80 degrees and crazy humid. Whew. Yeah, so let's do some stamping. If you're joining me, be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. All right, and if you're new here, don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, let's flip the camera and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, I see my hubby's popping in for a quick hi. Hello, hello. Okay, so got everything tuned on, lights going on. Okay, so here we have the celebratory sips. Cheers and sips. All right, so you can see we've got some fun glasses. You've got your little cocktail umbrella. You've got some rosemary and mint and lavender and some celery, strawberries and citrus, an olive, maybe you want a martini, all these fun things. And then the dies are pretty cool because the dies, oh, those aren't the right dies. The dies for this I stuck in here. All right, so we've got dies to go with each of these elements, all of the different cups, all of the different sprigs. You can texturize the cup. We've got, of course, the toothpick for the olive. All of these fun items here. So it makes this a great stamp set. And of course, it's got some beautiful designer series paper. And let's see. All right. I have been using this paper like crazy. I really love it. It's perfect for summer, bright and cheery. All right, so you can see some of the different patterns that we have here. Some beautiful florals too, if you love the purples. Okay. Some watercolor wash. I love this one. It kind of looks like fancy cut glass. All right, we've got some tropical patterns, and yes, the dies do work here on these pages too. All right, so you can cut out the various drink glasses in here, so you do not have to fussy cut those. Okay, and then some tropical floral, and here we go, all of your mixed fruits, some orange zest, lemons and limes. I love this pattern with the secret sea, and then here we have the nice bright florals too, okay, and some stripes. All right, so that is the Celebratory Sips paper. All right, and then we even have a scrapbooking workshop kit as well. Okay, so this one does 3 double page spreads, so 6 papers, or excuse me, 6 page layouts, and all the materials that you need in here to complete those. So that is a pretty awesome thing too. I love that Stampin' Up! Is incorporating some of those scrapbooking items back in the catalog now. So we've got all kinds of fun stuff, and we're going to make a technique card. So let me show you the elements that I have cut. Okay, so I did do this as one of my workshop of the month packets. All right, catching up because I think I was a little behind from March and April, and so we're doing lots of technique cards this month, catching up on those things. All right, so here we go. So I'm using Secret Sea and some of these fun patterns. All right, so this is another great technique card. Last week, yes, last week, we used the Celebratory Sips, and we created, actually we used the new florals, but with my team, I used the Celebratory Sips to do the fan fold technique card. So this goes right along with that. So again, I love a card that looks Looks complicated, but yeah, I'm going to show you how it's quite simple. So we have a half sheet here, 5.5 by 8.5 of Secret C cardstock. All right, and rather than fold it down the middle at 4.25, we're going to make kind of a bit of a gatefold here. It just folds in, okay? So we're going to split difference. We're going to cut, excuse me, not cut, score the first one here at 2 1/8. Okay, so this little, not the teeny tiny line, but the middle line right there, 2 1/8. All right, and we're gonna score that. All right, and then the easiest thing to do, just flip it around, do the other side, okay, and also score that at 2 1/8. All right, that's all you need, okay? Half sheet of cardstock, and then score on the long side, okay, from each end at 2 1/8. And then we're gonna fold those in to the center. All right, they should meet, not overlap, but they should meet, and we'll go ahead and burnish those with our bone folder. Okay, now the easy thing, we're gonna take our piece of basic white, and this goes on the inside, okay? So that's the first thing that we are going to do here. Okay, and I really should have grabbed some of my Stampin' Seal here before I got going. All right, so I'll use a little bit of the Tombow liquid glue here. Remember, a little goes a long way because you don't want it squirting out the edges. Okay, so this goes right here on the inside. All right, so inside is inside is done. Okay, yeah, David says, turn on the AC, please. Whew, I agree. Yes, we do not have the AC installed yet because we were running the heater just the other day because it's been so cold. In fact, our furnace kicked on the other morning because it was in the 50s. So this is crazy. All right, so the next element we need is some designer series paper, in this case, Celebratory Sips. And we need a panel to go on the front here, both the left and the right. All right, and these, because this finished panel here is 2 1/8 by 5.5, then our designer paper is going to be 1 7/8 by 5.25. Okay, and these just glue right here to the front. So remember, that's 1 7/8 by 5.25. Hi, Mary Jo. Hello, hello. I think you'll really love this card. You and I, we need to meet up for some drinks. Mary Jo lives one lake over from me. I'm not too far from Cayuga Lake, and Mary Jo lives close to Seneca Lake. And in between the lakes, we live in this beautiful area where there are all kinds of wineries with beautiful views of the lakes. It's a really awesome thing to be able to go do wine touring or just stop in. A lot of them have nice little restaurants where you can grab lunch or dinner. A really beautiful area. Again, I think that's one of the reasons I love this Celebratory Sips. Some of the wineries even have wine slushies. Those are kind of fun. It's like a Slurpee for adults. It's super fun. All right, so there we go. We have the front, and it's already looking fun and festive. Okay. Now here comes our slide and lock. I've got some decorative elements here. Okay, so our very first thing, let's decorate the front, okay? And I'm using this piece that looks like the, what is it? It's not crystal, it's not leaded glass, it's etched glass, right? All right, and this is 3 by 3, okay, 3 by 3 square. And our Secret C layer here, that's 3 1/4. Yes, the wine slushies. Oh, I could go for one of those right now. It's it is pretty steamy here in my home. Hopefully, yeah, my paper's still, it's not that damp, so my paper's still okay, but humidity and paper do not mix well. All right, so on the one side of our Secret C, we are doing our decorative piece, all right, 3 inches square. And then on the back side, this is where we're going to create our slide and lock. So for this technique, you need 3 pieces. Hi, Kathy. Oh, I'm so glad you love this sweet. We need 3 pieces of a neutral, all right? I'm using basic white. You could use Secret C. Really, you could use any color because this element is going to be hidden behind the folds of the card, all right? But we need 3 panels that are 3 by 3. One of them you're going to keep solid, and the other 2 you are going to score right down the middle. So that's at 1.5. Okay, 1.5 there. And we're gonna fold those in half. All right, and you don't have to burnish that too tightly. All right, just fold 2 of those there at the 1.5 inch mark. And what we're going to do, we're gonna take the folds and we are going to bump them up together on the back of this piece of Secret C. And then our solid layer is going to go on top. So I told you this was easy. It looks like a lot of different pieces. And once we put it together, you're gonna be like, oh, that looks so cool. But really, it's not that crazy, right? Because we have just a basic half sheet of cardstock. All right, and then these are easy to cut. Like I said, this panel is 3 1/4, and then all the rest of the pieces are 3 by 3. Okay, so one at a time. Go ahead and adhere these to the back. Okay. Again, you want to make sure that you're putting them together with the folds butted up against each other. Okay. And then for this third piece, all right, we're going to hold those down, add a little bit of adhesive here. Okay. And then this third piece that we did not score, this third piece goes right on top. All right, and that maybe just hold in place. Since I'm using liquid glue, hold that in place just a little bit so that it has a chance to secure itself there. Okay, so this is our slide and lock panel. What it is each of these little locks here. Okay, so we're gonna go in the fold. You're gonna put your left panel in, okay, and then open the fold on the right and insert the right panel. And then this piece serves as a lock that holds your card in place and it slides up and down the front. All right, how cool is that? So that's why it's called the slide and lock. And when you press it all together, it looks like a normal card until you add that fun little element. Okay, so something for the front of the card here. I did fussy cut. Now, like I said, the glassware, all right, the dies do die cut. They die cut the actual glasses themselves. They do not die cut like the orange slice or the lavender all at once. We have pieces for that, okay? We have pieces to stamp and die cut the lavender. The lavender shape is not quite the same. I did check that out. The mint and the celery is not quite the same size. So you can die cut the glassware, but if you want to include the little garnish, okay, in this case I wanted the little sprig of lavender, so I did fussy cut around that. Okay, so I wish we had all the dies, but for all the different types of cocktails, you'd need a lot of dies for that. Hey Janelle, good to have you here live. You're my replay queen. I guess they call that a replay warrior, right? Oh, how are your puppies enjoying this heat? Whew. All right, so I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals there on the back of our cocktail. Okay, and then I die cut. This is the larger sentiment label. You don't need one this big. I just die cut because I love this shape. This is from the Mixed Labels dies. Okay, that is from the Mixed Labels bundle. And we need a sentiment. All right, so you can do cheers to you, cheers to us, cheers, it's your day, let's celebrate. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's do a let's celebrate, it's your day. Okay. All right, so let me grab some Secret Sea ink. Love this color. And because we are mixing and matching some sentiments here, go ahead and use the graph or the grid here. I'm using my glass mat. I love this. Or if you have some grid paper, okay, or a stamp positioning tool, but if you line those up together, all right, then you can put them both on the block at one time and stamp them together. Okay, so we'll put this, let's go a little bit, let's see here. I put that on, okay, so I want my sentiment to be a little bit closer to the right, off center, because my beverage, or as my friend Kylie says, beveragino, all right, make a fancy beverage, is going to go over here on the left. Okay, so we have our sentiment stamped, and let's add some die cuts here. All right, I'm gonna do just in the middle, and then the beverage, our beveragino is going to go on the left, and we already put dimensionals on that, so I don't want to have too much bump there. Okay, so how about we center this off center, but like let's make it a little closer to the top so it's even here on my panel, but off to the right a little bit. And then our beverage will go over here on the left. And yes, I'm going to angle that. Let's angle that a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And then, well, I don't really need the ribbon on here. This is the ribbon that comes in the suite, right? If you did all the elements, the stamps, the dies, the designer series paper, we've got these really pretty embellishments. They are these iridescent bubble dots, all right? And then this sheer ribbon with the gold striping. It's really, really pretty, and it ties bows very nicely. But I really don't think I need, well, what do you guys think? Do I need a bow? All right, you guys can vote whether I need a bow, yes or no. Okay, and while you're doing that, I'm going to, let's put some of these little effervescent bubbles here onto our card front. All right, so I think I'm going to put a little one over here. No bow, says Kathy. All right, what do you think, Janelle? Okay. Oh, Janelle says yes. All right, Mary Jo, are you still there? All right, we're going to need a tiebreaker. All right, Mary Jo says no bows. She loves the bubbles. So if I were to remove the bow, I think I'll put a larger bubble down here. Okay, that way it kind of off centers, and then I'll take another small one and place it up here. That way I still have my trio, right? So it's balanced, but they're at different angles, so it looks nice on the card front. All right, there we have it. We have our Celebratory Slips slide and lock card. So check it out. If you wanted to open this, you could slide it up or down, all right? And then your recipient can open the card. All right, so that's the slide and lock mechanism. Again, to close the card, slide one panel in, all right, and then the other side. And there you have it. Isn't that cute? I thought that was super fun. I love that. You can, you can do any stamp set. You can do all kinds of different stuff. I don't know what I did with my card handy, but I did another one where I used the really pretty florals that also were an online exclusive. So yeah, any papers really, mix and match some of your different patterns. You just needed a little decoration for the front and a sentiment label, and then you're good to go. And if you had a leftover little strip of designer paper, you could even place that here inside your card, right? Put a little party on the inside too. Not just party in the front, but party on the inside. In which case, this would make a really cute little party invitation. If you're having a little garden party or pool party or just getting together with the girls, right? Super fun. So I hope you'll give this card a try. This is called the Slide and Lock Technique card, and this awesome bundle is Celebratory Sips. So thank you. This video, I can't believe this went super quick. I did not intend for it to be quite so speedy, but I hope you'll give it a try. All right, again, just one more time to walk you through. We had a half sheet, 5.5 by 8.5 of the Secret C. We scored it from each end at 2 1/8. All right, our inside layer, 4 by 5.25. The outside designer paper panels are 1 7/8 by 5.25. Our slide and lock mechanism, the Secret C square, is 3 1/4. Our designer paper is 3 inches. And then we had 3 pieces, all right, 3 squares of basic white that are also 3 inches. We scored 2 of them at 1.5 and folded them in half. And then mounted the third panel on the back. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this card a try. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much. Happy stamping. Stay cool. Enjoy a fun beveragino. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, if all goes well, I will have a special guest stamper. No, it's not David. Although if I can talk him into it, maybe. But yes, I will have a special guest next week. We are looking forward to, I think we're going to use this Celebratory Sips paper. We're going to carry our theme, again, for a fun beachy theme for you. So make sure you hit that notification bell and tune in again next week. That's Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a great weekend to you too. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.